Hello, and welcome to the Daily Debrief Download, an audio series taking you through the breaking news and the biggest stories from the Oceanographic newsroom. I'm Rob Hutchins, news editor here at Oceanographic magazine, and in this episode, I'll be leading us on a deeper dive into just one story from today's leading headlines. Now then, a new species of guitar shark, a deep-sea mollusc with potential in the development of cancer treatments, and the first octocoral to be discovered in the Maldives. No, this isn't a list plucked from a Jules Verne science fiction novel, but just 3 of the some 866 marine species newly discovered by scientists working across the world's largest and most ambitious mission to unlock the mysteries of life in the ocean. Yes, this is the first big reveal from the Ocean Census, a project backed by the Nippon Foundation and powered by Nekton to transform both our understanding of life in the ocean and the science that goes into identifying it. Announced this week, the first findings from the globe-spanning mission have been earmarked as a significant step in advancing our understanding of ocean biodiversity, with the some 866 newly named species just a fraction of somewhere between 1 million and 2 million yet to be discovered species living in the depths of the ocean. Not only this, but it marks a major step forwards for Ocean Census and its own mission to discover 100,000 new species over the coming years, whilst transforming the very foundations of marine science itself by accelerating the approach it takes to identify new species and ultimately filling the gaps in knowledge of life underwater before it's all too late, and all those species we have left to discover, those we've even yet to encounter, become extinct. The impact of the Ocean Census mission cannot be overestimated, and this week's announcement really does mark a major win for marine science on a number of counts. To better understand why, let's look at what we know about the current approach to new species identification and why this all presents such a large hurdle to begin with. The Nippon Foundation Nekton Ocean Census is a project born of the recognition that when it comes to marine science, something needs to change. One of the biggest challenges facing the sector, indeed facing the ocean itself, is the perceived barrier too often placed between it and the general public. There's nothing more exciting to hear than the news of a new species discovered, but such announcements are few and far between. Yet, for an environment teeming with life, millions of species as yet to be even discovered, there's a real disconnect between what it has to offer and public engagement with the mysteries it holds. The issue is, the process for identifying a new species is actually pretty boring. At least, the waiting around part is. By the admission of those at Ocean Census itself, species identification is often a long and drawn-out process which can, in some cases, take as long as up to 15 years to complete. It's a process that, as it stands, currently involves encountering a suspected new species, going through the process of identification and formally describing it, and then having those findings published in a scientific journal. By this point, Ocean Census recognizes some of those marine species discovered have already been made extinct before they are even documented. So, while it's believed that we still have to discover some 90% of the marine life living within the ocean, the process of documenting it all is not working in our favor. Particularly as, right now, marine ecosystems are facing an onslaught of existential threats from climate change, pollution, and ocean acidification to oil and gas drilling, and the desire from some to start exploiting the seabed for its minerals. Those like Ocean Census believe that if the public were made more aware of the extent to which the ocean is teeming with undiscovered life, perhaps there'd be a deeper inclination to protect it. And to do that, there's a need to make the whole thing a lot more dynamic. Launched 2 years ago in April 2023, the Ocean Census, an international collaboration of 800 scientists from over 400 institutions around the world, has set out to do just that. And the discovery of more than 800 new species certainly isn't a bad place to start. So what stories of life underwater does this first announcement from Ocean Census tell us? Well, the first thing to note is that there's a lot of them. According to estimates, it's believed there's somewhere between 1 million and 2 million species as yet undocumented in areas of the ocean anywhere between 1 meter and 4,990 meters deep. 2 years in and some 10 global expeditions later, the 866 new species detailed this week is but a snapshot of what we can expect to find plenty more of in the coming years. Among the findings, a new species of shark, sea butterfly, mud dragon, bamboo coral, water bear, octocoral, shrimp crab, reef fish, squat lobster, pipe horse, limpet, hooded shrimp, sea spiders, and brittle stars have now all been registered to the Ocean Census Biodiversity Data Platform. This platform, currently in its beta phase, has been developed in partnership with the UN Environment Programme World Conservation Monitoring Centre and is now accessible to researchers and the public alike. It will be used to house each new species discovery as it emerges from this globe-spanning mission, developed to offer both researchers and the public open access to life in the ocean as it is discovered. Already listed are some fascinating examples of the diverse biology that makes up the ocean ecosystem. We've seen a new species of guitar shark discovered at around 200 meters deep off Mozambique and Tanzania, a new species of marine gastropod found around 500 meters off New Caledonia and Vanuatu that produces peptides with potential in cancer treatment, and a new octocoral, one of only 5 known species of octocoral, discovered for the first time in the Maldives. It's with the recording of every new species, says Professor Lucy Woodall, head of science at Ocean Census, whether that's a shark or a sponge, that our understanding of marine ecosystems and the benefits they provide for the planet deepen. In its first 16 months, Ocean Census has discovered hundreds of new species, from fish to snails to corals, across a range of ocean habitats. With 10 more expeditions planned for 2025, the mission's next goal is to continue to pioneer in the field. It's according to Professor Juliana Panieri from the Arctic University of Norway that the need now is to urgently build up the baseline of information we have on life in the ocean in order to better predict the changes of the future. According to Panieri, it is the past that is the key to the present, and the present that is the key to the future. If you'd like to learn more about this story or other stories on new species discovery in the ocean ecosystem, head to the Oceanographic Newsroom. This has been the Daily Debrief Download. I've been Rob Hutchins. Thank you for listening.